We're in California Adventures today, where we just wrapped a complete tour of the entire park. We went through every land, stopped at every attraction. We were delighted with the non-holiday aesthetic and the non-holiday crowds. Found an interesting situation for conspiracy theorists and enjoyed some lunch with a view. Join us for our State of DCA report. And this might be my most anticipated report from DCA in recent times. It's our first trip into the park since the holiday season ended. Today, as I record this, it is January 10th. And I'm hoping to find that all the Christmas decorations are down. We're actually off to a shaky start because the Festival of Holidays sign is still up over the entrance. But I'm looking forward to a nice, clean, pure DCA experience. No Christmas, no holidays, just the park. And in perfect timing too, because as I mentioned in a previous update from Disneyland, I love the holiday season, but there's a certain point where I'm like, okay, I'm good. Let's give me some of that classic original stuff. And we're gonna hope to see a whole bunch of that today here at DCA. And before we get into the main body of this report, it is about 11:15 in the morning, and I'm kind of surprised at the level of crowds. I mean, it's not packed, but there's, it took me a while to park today at Toy Story. There was quite a lineup of guests at the Toy Story parking lot. There was quite a lineup of guests at the gate today when I arrived. Now, it was just prior to 11 a.m., so quite a bit of that was likely the 11 a.m. park hoppers. But still, for January 10th, and, on a Wednesday? Not bad DCA. It's the same sort of reaction that I had when I arrived at Disneyland a couple days ago as well on Monday. So I feel like Disney's strategies of spreading out the crowds and just trying to even things out, redistributing annual pass holders more specifically, is really working well, or as well as they could have hoped anyway. And that does bring us to Hollywood Boulevard. Okay, now, so maybe it's just Buena Vista Street and Carthay and all that's feeling the pressure, but as guests get into the park and start distributing themselves into the different arteries and directions that you can go, things start to thin out a little bit, because that's a pretty empty looking Hollywood Boulevard. It is just 11, not even 11:30 yet. But even considering it, even though it is a little less busy than you might normally expect, I'm already feeling a lot of really good, positive energy coming from this crowd. And that's something that has never really died. The people who come to the park, who are in Disneyland and in DCA, especially DCA, relatively speaking, to days past, they're just happy to be here, man. I can really dig that. I can really dig that feeling. I can really dig that emotion. Just being here at Disneyland and DCA, it just makes you feel good. I love to feel that feeling, especially when you first get here, the excitement and the energy. That's one of my favorite things, is that first walk up Main Street, or in this case, Hollywood Boulevard. We are going to Hollywood Studios first to check in on an old friend, Monsters Inc. We did a test last time on our last State of DC report of the standby queue, because it was posted at just 30 minutes, and I wanted to test that out, and it was close. The wakeboard says 45 minutes right now, a little higher than I would have hoped for this time of day. 45 minutes already at near opening. That's the back of the queue right there. Although, oh no, that's Lightning Lane. Oh my, okay, well hold on a second. Often the case, the back of the standby queue is already out here, but they're not even using the back to switchback, so that's kind of positive. I'm doubting this is 45 minutes.
Once again, if you're waiting in our standby queue, your current wait time is averaging 35 minutes, and subject to change at any time. Please note Lightning Lane does take priority.
And just like that, as is often the case, when I observe something and I see that it's incorrect, Disney is there to to correct on the spot. If we walk out there, you know, the board said 45, but they just said over the speaker 35, and that's, I was going to say, that's more like what it should be, is 35 minutes, and maybe not even that. Still posted at 45 though, so that's curious that they would leave that up and make that announcement. I would have expected that time to have, you know, a cast member to come out there and reflect that change on the board. But that ain't 45 minutes in there. That's more like 30. So our first thing to observe as far as the holidays go, they've taken down all the festival holidays stuff out here. They had a stage set up for the mostly kosher band. That's gone. There's just no theming whatsoever. I haven't seen a single lick other than festival holidays signage out in the entrance. I haven't seen a single lick of Christmas decorations, which is great. The menus are back to normal again as well. The Asian-inspired street burrito is now on the menu as opposed to the Filipino stuffed burrito that was here for the holidays. I've never tried that. I need to do that. Oh my gosh. Guys, look at... I know there's a lot of glare in that window, but that is a wonderful Mickey-shaped pretzel with cheese sauce. After God made the Mickey-shaped pretzel, he rested. There's the Hyperion Theater. I was hoping for some sort of clue on the billboard up there, on the marquee, indicating what their plans were for the upcoming spring season, but it just says hooray for Hollywood. No indication of a change. Oh my goodness, but we do have an indication of something here. This is probably more suitable for a construction report, but heck, we're going to cover that right now. Those are walls up at the Hyperion. Interesting. They got a bunch of scaffolding. They're putting scaffolding up on the... What in the heck is that for? Fascinating. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've heard or recalled any sort of talk about the Hyperion going down for any kind of refurb or being closed. Well, I mean, it's been closed since they ended Rogers the Musical. So there's nothing that the refurb calendar would not have reflected this, but it probably is just a paint job. But we can always hope. I mean, what would the expectation be there? What could they possibly be doing there that's outside of the, you know, out of the ordinary? I don't know. Mission Breakout. It's light. We're going to be seeing this throughout the day today. I believe that's really the narrative for this afternoon, is less than usual. Okay, hold on a second, because I just saw something that may require further exploration. 30 minutes. There's a collector. Liz and I have been going through another run of Marvel films recently, so this queue is using quite a bit less than it typically does. I'm just going to explore queues, get inside, and look around, which I love to do. What am I seeing? I'm seeing maybe they're not out there. They're not using the back rows back there, so that's a good 10 or 15 minutes less than usual right here. If the impact from Lightning Lane isn't too bad, you could get through this in less than 30, I would imagine, assuming they're running all of the elevators. I was super close to getting that queue. I was standing there off camera just kind of contemplating, like, man, I really want to find out. But I think I'm going to save that effort for another attraction, maybe even here in Avengers Campus. Oh my gosh, what is happening? I've encountered some resistance here. I think they just finished a show. I think that's what this is. They just wrapped one of those shows up there, which is always a delight. Yeah, it looks like the crews are undoing all the stagecraft up there. Avengers Campus, very busy right now. Oh, look at that load. Don't you think? Doesn't this seem busy? It does to me. I mean, that 30-minute wait time wasn't bad, but there's a fair amount of people in here. I'm heading towards Web Slingers, though. I feel I'm feeling maybe that's where I want to spend one of my ride visits this afternoon. Let's see. Posted 35. You have my curiosity. Posted 30. I think we're going. I think we're going to test this out. Look at that. 30 minutes. Look at that. That's lightning lane. No, my goodness. People are cashing those in already. Oh no, we're in trouble. We may have made a blunder, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm committed.
For any guests looking to expedite their wait, our single rider line is available for any parties that do not mind splitting up. Again, our current wait time is now 40 minutes. Thank you.
I'm getting really good at this. I'm getting really, really good at this. I walked in that queue and I'm like, this is not 30 minutes. Just by looking at that lightning lane queue. That's it. That lightning lane queue is going to kill standby, and we haven't moved very much since we got in the queue. There are people sitting, which you never want to see. So the fact that she just said over the speaker, 30 minutes is now 40, not surprised one bit. We're about to leave 30 minutes just now. 27 minutes to get to what I call QA. We did the bullpen and the port out there up front, 27 minutes, not very good. We're not even going to hit 40. The queue has grown quite a bit since we've been back there in standby. So this is an interesting case for the conversation about whether or not Disney intentionally fudges wait times low in order to sell more Genie Plus, because they're not even close on this one, but in the wrong direction for that argument. They posted 30, but it's actually going to be closer to 50. That doesn't sell it. That doesn't sell any Genie Plus.
Once again, if you have just entered our standby queue, our current wait time is 45 minutes and subject to change. Please take note that lightning lane does take priority.
45 now, it's up to 45, which I don't think that's even possible. It does be, well, I don't know, we'll see. It's at 27 now. We're maybe 5 or 6 minutes from the door. That's the first time, I think, that I've ever heard a cast member acknowledge that Genie Plus, that lightning lane, takes priority. I mean, we all know it, but they don't ever say it out loud. It's so obviously like that. It makes me wonder if maybe they're getting complaints about how long people have been waiting in standby compared to the posted wait time.
Over here, come on in, all the way to the next room, over here.
Come on in while we prep for your test drive on the Slinger. We'll be starting in just a few moments.
Okay, everybody, open house is canceled.
Wise idea.
But I could use some help.
46 minutes, so approaching an hour on a 30-minute wait. That's if the clock stops at the vehicle. One could make a case that the clock stopped back there. I'll have to ask a cast member.
Activating motion tracking, assigning individualized color profiles, web showers calibrating. Start swinging, just extend your arm. Also here too. Mini ball as you can.
Right?
Sorry. Elevating pressure.
We did it! I feel like, well, it's another without them.
That was also your idea. Thanks for attending our open house presentation and preventing the destruction of the world as we know it. Please collect your wits and any personal belongings as you exit the vehicle. See you.
Just confirm with a cast member that the wait time posted is to the vehicle. We were 55 minutes to the vehicle against a posted 30. It went up to 45 while we're in there. Since we got out, it's gone down back to 35. That's wild. Go look at the queue. 20 minutes ago, this was all completely full. And it's even shorter than it was when we got here the first time. the back of the queue, that is. I'm just going to keep going. But yeah, we were back here. When we got to the back of the queue, it was right about here. So, I mean, incredible how they were able to process all of that in 20 minutes, that it can collect, that it can build up that quickly while we're in the queue, and then also empty that quickly while we're on the ride. And look at, that's Lightning Lane right there. They're still hosting quite a few Lightning Lanes, so that's pretty cool. That you got to give it to web slingers for being able to handle the crowds like that. And it makes me wonder, when we see posted wait times in the 50 or 60 minutes here, what does that mean? I've got it, I put this one in the books for ride recon for this attraction whenever we get to it, but it makes you wonder what a 50 or 60 minute queue would actually be like. And I'm not saying that 30 that we just had is representative of what it would normally be at 30, but I will say this, that does reconcile with my theory. Do the opposite. You're not going to be right every single time, but you're going to be right more often than you're wrong, I think. Man, I tell you what, you hang out in the Avengers campus long enough, that you get desensitized. The music is so loud and on you like that, and it's just really loud and oppressive, but you forget. And then as soon as you leave the land, if you've been in there for a little while, as soon as you leave, you're like, oh yeah, that's better. That feels better. Mater's is looking, oh my gosh, there's nobody in the Mater's queue. Whew. Welcome to January. The people are just walking right in. 5 minutes. That says 5 minutes. There's not even any queue back there. They're just walking straight through there. Curious to see what Luigi's looks like. I'm sure Radiator Springs Racers is still going to be plenty packed. It is the case. Don't expect any discounts on the big rides, like we just experienced with Web Slingers. On a slow day, that is. It is definitely slower today than it normally would be. The discounts that you're going to experience are on the medium popularity rides, rides like Mater's. Although Mission Breakout was light at 30. There was no discount on Foster's Inc. So maybe that's where you find your discounts, is on non-Lightning Lane attractions. But I would expect Radiator Springs Racers to be packed today. I mean, it feels like people are having fun in here. Like, there's a lot of folks, a lot of guests, a lot of energy. Love it. Look at that. That's a lot of people right there in that corridor on the way to Avengers Campus. Luigi's is posted at 20. So that's the back of the queue. Oh my. That's it. This is gonna be bad. I can already feel it. Yeah, 90. I looked at, before I even got around the corner, I'm like, oh my God. Now, 90 isn't the worst I've ever seen, but it's bad for considering how light it is. And look at this Lightning Lane queue. So there's posted 90. But the Lightning Lane queue, I mean, they're gonna let everybody in here, but it's taking them forever to scan these guests in. That's a lot of Lightning Lane they're selling. Definitely not something you want to see when you're walking into Radiator Springs, that's for sure.
Insane.
This would be a hard pass for me right today. Looks like they were filming something today here on the backside of Radiator Springs. No clue what that's for. I don't know. Oh, there's another crew up here. Man, I'm hungry. Should we just go ahead and get lunch here? I just rolled in. It's almost noon. Oh, look at the queue for Baymax. That's light. That's just a few minutes. That's the lightest I've ever seen a Baymax meet and greet queue ever. So I did stop at Lucky Fortune Cookery. Got myself the yaki udon with the crispy chicken in it. But I could have sworn, I thought the udon had like more broth in it. This looks almost entirely brothless. In any case, it looks good. Looking forward to trying that. We're going to eat our lunch, and then we'll do a look at the tip board. That is really, really tasty. I can't decide what I like most. If it's the udon itself. I think the udon, I remember liking that before, or the bok choy. Even the chicken was pretty good. All right, let's get into that tip board here at DCA. Not a lot to cover here because there's not a lot of attractions, but we'll do our best. Find our first one at Golden Zephyr right down the way at 5 minutes. Expected. Goofy Sky School, 35 minutes with a return time in 35 minutes, or almost 40. 35 minutes, that's pretty good for a slow day for Goofy Sky School. And by good, I mean that's a longish wait. Guardians has escaped that 30-minute. We saw it at 30, and I was like, I want to get in there. That one, I was probably already too late. People started showing up right away, so it's gotten back to its more customary hour with a return time in 3 hours. Incredicoaster is 15 minutes. Guys, do you think we should put that on our list of things to do today? I like to try to, these days, hit a couple attractions while I'm doing my State of DCA and State of Disneyland reports. That seems like a possibility. There's just a 15-minute wait, and the return time is right now, although I was thinking about doing a rep at Little Mermaid. We still haven't ridden. Oh, no, we've been on one time since I did Genie Plus. But I don't know if today's the day for that. I don't expect there to be a wait at Little Mermaid. Inside Out is 10 minutes. That's closing now, I think. Or did it already close? I don't remember. Let's do some recon at Jesse's Critter Carousel, 5 minutes. Jumping Jellyfish, 5 minutes. That's what I was saying before. It's on these busy days, it's the B and C rides where you get the big savings, but the A rides still have a lot, a big wait typically. Little Mermaid is 10 minutes with a return time of now. So not a lot of impact there, nothing to study, nothing to learn. Luigi's is 30, that's about how we left it before. Mater's is 10, it's actually 5 minutes longer than we left it before. Monsters Inc. is closed with a return time in half an hour. Pixar Pal Around is 35 minutes, man. If I had Grandpa with me today, I may take a run at Pixar Pal Around. I have not been up in there in a long time, and I want to look at backstage at Avengers Campus. 75 minutes at Radiator Springs Racers. That's actually down from the 90 we saw before, but still typical for a slow day for Radiator Springs Racers to have a long wait. That's actually kind of a bargain, to be honest. Return time of now for Lightning Lane. And then Silly Symphony is 5 minutes. Soarin' is 15. That's pretty light for Soarin'. That is light. Oh my gosh. 75 for Toy Story Midway Mania. 75. Wow. I mean, again, that's consistent with my A-ride philosophy, but still, that seems high even. 2.5 hours return time. Web Slingers 45. We left at 35. And that's it. Take care. You know what I love about San Francisco? And yes, by the way, I did come all the way back here from the Paradise Bay to shoot this again because I love crossing this bridge. That's one of the things I love about San Francisco. But what I love about San Francisco is that it's demonstrably better than Pacific Wharf, so much so that we can say it is better. And I enjoy the fact that there are haters out there right now, Disneyland haters who are just like, oh, it's a cheap reskin or this and that. I mean, maybe, I guess, but it's definitely better. So that makes me happy. It makes me happy that Disney did a good thing, and there's nothing that anybody could say or do to change my mind about that. San Francisco, greater than Pacific Wharf. We'll get back to that. That's Little Mermaid. I have comments. I have things to say. But our route takes us to Paradise Pier next. Maybe? Question mark? Incredicoaster? I don't know. I feel like it might be a fun idea, and if it's just a 15-minute wait, I'm okay with that. I mean, it feels almost downright busy right here on the pier. I mean, this is the point where it often is crowded. it's typically, there are a lot of folks here on any kind of day. But still. Oh, let me take a peek over here. That standby queue does look like it's a little bit more than 15 minutes. It has probably gone up since we looked. But yeah, it's full up here, full down here. It's even starting to peek out into the bullpen down here. That's probably closer to 25. Huh, 20. I don't know, man. I mean, that's actually probably accurate, which is unusual for them to be correct. But I don't think we could do this queue in less than 20 minutes from this point, unless there's no standby, which I'm just seeing these guests right here. That's empty right there. A whole bunch. While I was sitting there studying the queue, 50 people jumped in there. My goodness, my timing is terrible. I guess while we have a minute, we can talk about Magic Keys. Today is January 10th. While we're filming this, I've been watching also the Magic Key queue. They're selling them right now as we speak. I posted something on our Instagram stories the other day as well on this, but I've been watching just to see how well the process is going and how quickly they sell out. It's only been, what is it now? Maybe 5 hours since they started selling them, and it got off to a very slow start. It was, rough, difficult to get into the queue. It's they kind of hide the actual link to get into the queue. They kind of hide it, so it takes a while for people to figure out how to get into the queue to begin with. And then there were some technical difficulties, but the passes are now selling pretty smoothly. Things are going okay. I just checked as of about 5 or 10 minutes ago at about 2 o'clock. As I record this, nearly 2, and all the keys are still available. I remember the Believe keys sold out the same day. I'm not sure how long it was, how many hours it was, but it was before the 10 p.m. shutoff, which, by the way, they do that. They close the queue at 10 p.m., then you have to get back in the queue the next morning. I don't know if they save your spot or not, but probably. I feel like they should be able to do that. But anyway, I'm going to be very curious. The reason why I'm watching more closely this time than I have in the past is because I'm very curious to see how many they sell. I'm very curious to see where Disney's head is with respect to how many keys they want in the park. If the Believe key, for example, lasts longer than an afternoon, that's a good sign that they're going to start selling more keys, and they might leave them open a little bit while longer. Enchant and Imagine were the next to go, and Inspire took months to sell out. But I'm very curious to see what Disney's true feelings are regarding those keys. And at the same time, by the way, we're watching what's happening at Walt Disney World, where they have basically eliminated their reservation system. But that's because it's kind of useless. That's something that we get into in a news report that we did on Fresh Baked Presents. Disneyland annual pass holders, Magic Key holders. If you want to see something that enrages you, go check the reservation calendar for annual passes at Walt Disney World. It's incomprehensible how open it is. I can't even understand it. So they don't even need a reservation system at this point because it's useless. They never sell out. By the way, that's pretty indicative right there, what you're saying of how smoothly this queue is going so far. We've only been in it for 5 minutes and we've gone quite a ways already. Still minimal influence from Lightning Lane, and we're still moving pretty briskly.
For your safety, make sure you get out of the shower and stand so it locks in place. Keep your head firmly like that.
14 minutes total. That was smooth. That went really, really nice. 14 minutes.
Head back, face forward, and hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Gun evolve. I don't know why I do this to myself every time, man. I don't think I can't remember the last time I got through an Incredicoaster without having that feeling. It was even worse because I had to really hold on tight to the. For whatever reason, this camera is harder to hold on to. Oh, am I too close? This camera is harder to hold on to when moving around a lot. It's almost easier for me to hold on to a regular phone on a roller coaster than it is this camera. And by the way, the gimbal isn't exactly conducive to shooting roller coasters. I had to keep readjusting. It keeps losing its, where its horizon is. Still, 14 minutes. That was fun. Back to work. 5 minutes. Jesse's Squitter. 5 minutes for Jesse's Squitter Carousel. That's a great picture spot, though. Where did we leave Midway? It was 75, I think. Can that be? Is this real life? 45 minutes, it's gone down a half an hour? And look at that, the queue out here is empty. The back is inside, it's not, you put a few more people in there, it'll start poking out that door. Hi, how are you? But that's pretty incredible. To see the back of the queue, wow, they've trimmed 30 minutes. And there's hardly any lightning lane in there either. Wow. Pixar Pier is fun. Pixar Pier is fun. Now I want some popcorn. Oh, they're getting popcorn. Somebody getting one in their lucky Valentino wish bucket. With that, we have arrived at Pixar Palaround. Look at that scene right there. I mean, that's pretty amazing. 45 minutes for swinging gondola. 30 minutes for non-swinging. You'll be lucky if that's 30. Same for 45 over at the swing one, even though there's many more buckets, many more gondolas that are swinging that are non-swinging. I really enjoy the loop here at Pixar Pier. Love the loop here. Maybe am I a secret Pixar fan? Do I secretly love Pixar? No, it's not a secret. I love Pixar. Let's jump into Bing Bongs real quick. I want to see what Bing Bong has to say this afternoon. Wow, you can get 2 t-shirts for $50? How are they making money on such a proposition? Where do I sign up?
You know, it's unclear. I'm mostly complicated, but shape-wise, I'm part cat, part elephant, part dolphin.
I'm laughing before I've been able to pivot the camera. 15 minutes for Emotional Whirlwind, and the queue is right here, as it always is. Actually, maybe even a few people longer, bigger than it usually is. But still, it's comical how consistent that queue is. It's always almost exactly the same, no matter what. Double rainbow. You don't often see 2 cars racing like that. A little busy here at Silly Symphony. This again is actually busier than what we saw the last time we did a State of DCA report. Is at 20 minutes. Still not you know, a big deal, but it was a walk-on last time we were here. Paradise Garden Grill is closed. Hi.
Hi.
Not sure if this is a refurb or if it's just to change the menu. They often will do that. They'll close it for a minute because, you know, they're just coming off a Festival of Holidays and they want to cycle into a different menu. It's about time to get back to something, you know, Mediterranean, which was what this was supposed to be. And that was always, for me, the best menu they ever had here was the Mediterranean menu.
I will stay outside.
And there's not a lot to refurb in that place. You know, there's no dining area inside, that is. So, I mean, if the refurb is, it's always, you know, non-guest facing. But it could just be that they're changing the kitchen for the new menu. Oh, wow. Look at that. 55 minutes is the standby right now for Goofy Sky School. Goodness. But that is most likely because as we make our way around the fences here, you can see there's nobody out here in the yard. So why is it 55? An enormous lightning lane queue. These guys are in for a grind. They're going to be here for a while. These guests in the standby. I mean, the attraction does cycle guests pretty quickly. It's the closest thing to an omnimover that a roller coaster can be, because the vehicles never stop moving. Even when you're trying to climb in there, they're moving, just like you are in the Haunted Mansion, which is kind of terrifying at times, because it's a very small seat to get into, and you know, I've got to negotiate my knees into the little thing, and sometimes I got my backpack, I'm trying to squeeze that in there, and it is not the easiest vehicle to get in and out of. So it's, you know, when I'm trying to get in there, I'm just like, God, I hope I can make it. I mean, they stop it, obviously, but you feel that pressure. You feel the pressure getting in, you feel the pressure getting out from the other guests in the queue, like, oh man, this guy's gonna ruin it for everybody. Look at that. Whoa. Whoa. What is going on? Are they having a sale? Are they giving away a free glass of beer with a ride on Golden Zephyr? I can't remember the last time I saw literally anybody out here in the queue, in the downstairs queue. And I just spent the first half of this show talking about how the discounts on a non-busy day are at the attractions that are like that, the B and C attractions. Meanwhile, Goofy Sky School's an hour, and that one's at 20 minutes probably. It could be though, because Little Mermaid is closed. That could be a reason. Little Mermaid hardly ever closes. Hardly ever. And there's a lot of people in that building. When this attraction is running, there's a lot of people in that building, and they all got displaced somewhere.
Catch up to those girls. Can't catch them. Hit full speed. Full speed.
I was hoping, well, I guess I can't talk about it. I was going to say we're going to get back to Little Mermaid, but I was walking by before. My fingers crossed hope was that when they take out Festival of Holidays and they take out all these kiosks, you know, the food kiosks and the merch and all that, that would allow them to put the entrance back in the proper location. But no, we're stuck with this being our entrance for both Standby and Lightning Lane, when it should be this. This is the proper entrance. And it makes me kind of crazy that that's how we're doing it. Man, I was really hoping. I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to be optimistic. I was really hoping that this was just for Festival of Holidays. Can you imagine? You've got that beautiful opening entrance that they designed, you know, back when it was Golden Dreams. Which, by the way, it fits perfectly here. It fits perfectly for Little Mermaid too. It's wonderful. That's the way you're supposed. That's the way it should be. And they've got you over there by the cast member backstage exit or entrance. It's just bad show, man. That's just bad show. Like, you gotta think of something better than that. By the way, is a closed Grizzly River run, and the wheel is behind Scrim. Looks a little worse for wear. Very rusted, even though it's not functional. I mean, it moves, but it doesn't actually have a purpose or a real function. So I'm sure it's not a big deal that it's rusted, but nevertheless, there is scaffold and Scrim there. Well, yeah, Scrim anyway. Churros, delightful. The music back here at Redwood Creek is back and delightful. I've been very much enjoying this trip through the park today, and doing so with the natural aesthetic and ambiance. All right, with the music and the costumes and the lack of Christmas theming. Love the holidays, but I do enjoy when it returns back to its natural state in January, February, and then, oh my gosh, in just a couple months we're going to get Easter. It's really super beautiful. The theming is still natural at that point. It's nice. It's nice. I am missing the sounds of Grizzly River Run, though. They've drained the river. And walls up at the entrance. I'm gonna take a peek. Hang on a second. I just spent a few minutes looking through the little gaps in the walls, and I'm over here. Like, what's going on back there? I wish I could see what they're doing on the river. It's like completely exposed over here. So I don't know what the purpose is of those walls, unless the refurb this time isn't to do its normal January stuff, but to do something in this space only. I mean, they have drained the river, and I expect that they probably will be doing something. I think somebody reported that there's a permit out there where they are going to be working on that geyser right there. I don't know if I can get there with this. Stay tuned for our construction report. I'll get better shots than I'm getting right now. But there's a geyser right there that hasn't worked for a while. I don't know if that's by design or if it's broken or what, but I'm hoping they fix that, because that's the most fun geyser. That's the whole point of being on this ride, in my opinion. Well, I guess the two drops, but that geyser's great. Wish I was on the monorail now. I wish that's the first time. Oh my God. That's the first time ever that I've ever wished that they had a loading, an opportunity to get on the monorail from DCA. I've always just been like, whatever, no, it's no big deal. Now suddenly I want one. I need a DCA entrance for the monorail now. We got to make that happen. Soren was at 20 something when we were through here, or I'm looking at the tip board, I mean. Fairly healthy queue back there. Let's see. I don't see. Oh, lightning lane. Okay, so this is going to be 40 at least. And the standby queue is starting to get a little dense. Can't see it. Oh yeah, posted wait time says 45. That's a wrap, Fresh Baked. That's a wrap on our State of DCA report. Fun day. I had a really good time out here today. Really enjoyed that non-holiday aesthetic, the non-holiday crowds, as we mentioned. Very interesting what happened back there at Web Slingers. I'm going to put that one in the books when I start doing my next iteration, my next study. I'm not so sure that there's any sort of conspiracy to be had there, but you know what? It's too early to say. We got to do more studying on that. But yeah, what a great day we had today at DCA. I can't wait for our next report. Coming up next from Fresh Baked, though, we'll be here on Friday to do some more recon. I got to check out that Grizzly River Run stuff. Plus, there's lots more to do for construction, that is. Lots more to come on that. Stay tuned. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. If you have a chance, check out our last State of Disneyland report. Another one coming up next week. And then follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked, on Twitter at FreshBakedDisney, that's Fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBakedDisney. If you like our show and want to show you support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FreshBaked. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.